I just found myself really inspired to write about the people, the nature, the environment, the culture of farming that is and that was, and what that means in terms of the environment, because that culture of farming is so rich. My name is Keith Brennan. I'm an ex-city dweller from the Liberties in Dublin. I'm now a farmer and a writer with a huge interest in regenerative farming, in farming for biodiversity, and we run a no-spray rare breed livestock farm here in North Roscommon, out in the middle of beautiful nowhere. The name of our farm is Hawthorne Hill Farm. When you live in a place for long enough, it becomes part and parcel of you, and that's as true of the Liberties as it is of a hillside in North Roscommon. The writing is it's me sitting down and thinking carefully over the past week or two, and just writing about what I've seen, or people that I've talked to, or moments that I've had. You know, you'll talk to a 70-year-old farmer who'll just say something to you, and it's basically they're leaving a poem hanging in the air. There was a farmer, it was actually during one of the lockdowns, and he would talk to me from his tractor cab. He's 70 years old, his family have farmed here for more than a century. He just turned to me and said, "You wouldn't know this, but this is the first year since 1976 that I have heard the cuckoo before I saw the swallow." And the reason is this, that the swallows in their migration path encountered a massive hurricane which decimated their numbers, and so we are hearing the cuckoo first, and what swallows there are will arrive later in the year. And he closed his door and he drove off. He didn't tell me any of the other things that he could have told me, 100 things that he knew I didn't know about farming that I really would need to know right there and then. He instinctually understood something that's really intrinsic to farming sustainably, which is that what we do has a massive effect here and in other places, and how we manage our land is really important. And it's important enough that this is the thing that he would say to somebody new to farming. A lot of what we do is probably something that farmers in their 70s and 80s would recognize as what they did. A friend put it well. She said, the drive in Ireland over the past 2 decades, 3 decades has been to produce, 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 no matter what, and you infill that with a lot of inputs, a lot of chemical fertilizers, a lot of sprays, insecticides, pesticides. You plough up your pastures and replace them with rye and clover, and when you do that for long enough, you kill all the life in the soil, you get rid of your wildflower seed bank, all of those things. And 100, 120 years ago, people farmed in a very different way. You'd have a much more closed cycle. The farms would be untidy and scruffy. There'd be margins and spaces for nature. For farming, increasingly, the options to farm how we used to are becoming more and more limited. I think ecologically, it's no longer sustainable. I think economically, it hasn't been sustainable for a long time. And so long term, I think farmers are going to have to find ways to rediscover that sense of custodianship with the support of customers, with the support of government,